All right, so it's time to talk some track and field now. Kingston College and Excelsior retained their respective boys and girls titles at the two-day corporate area high school championships, which culminated at Jamaica College's Ashnaim Stadium on Saturday. Here's Ricardo Chambers with a comprehensive roundup.
Brittany Issa, boys champions Kingston College, secured their 7th straight and 11th overall corporate area title, completing a relatively comfortable 48.5-point victory over Jamaica College. KC, who never trailed on the final day, amassed 463 points to JC's 414.5, with Calabar third on 301, Wilmer's fourth on 174.5, and Excelsior fifth on 96 points. It was a clinical performance from the Purples, who pulled away each time they were challenged by either of their two closest rivals. Among the most outstanding performances for the North Street-based institution was the Quinella in the Class 2 boys 110 hurdles. Jonathan Clark and Timothy Poirier both leaned in at 13.36 seconds to smash the championship record of 13.79 set by schoolmate Tajani Gordon in 2024. For Clark, it was a satisfying performance given some challenges this season.
It's definitely a great feeling because, you know, it's not been easy going this season. I started competing late, so coming out here and putting a record and even a personal best, very great.
KC struck another significant blow in the Class 1 boys 800 meters with Kenny and Brian Kiprop, the reigning champs winner in the 1500 and 2000 meter steeplechase, bringing the house down in a duel with JC's 2024 Class 2 800 champion Samuel Creary. The two made contact down the stretch as Kiprop held his form to outgun a stuttering Creary, clocking a minute 51.90 to Creary's 152.16. Outgoing senior and captain of Kingston College, champs Class 2 high jump record holder Aaron McKenzie says the team was well prepared to deliver.
Most of the work is just mental preparation. All of our boys at KC are talented, they're strong and they're hard workers. So coming here, it was just a strategic approach with some mental enhancements. We're strong, we're ready, we're here for the champs again, and we will be here again next year, a year after that, for 100 more years.
In the meantime, Excelsior landed their 9th consecutive girls' title and narrow 15-point win over Immaculate. Immaculate applied pressure throughout the day, but the Eagles, like KC on the boys' side, came up with championship-defining efforts. Among them, a Quinella in the Class 1 sprint hurdles, where Shelley and Taylor clocked 13.82 to beat Amoy Kentish, who stopped the clock at 13.85. From there, Excelsior held their nerve to accumulate 351 points ahead of Immaculate 336. Former champions Wilmer's 286.5, Alpha 236, and the Queen's School 130.5 rounded out the top 5. Excelsior assistant coach Al Alexander lauded his team's fortitude.
We've been doing this for 8 years, you know, and experience teaches wisdom. And that's what we came out with. Immaculate came at us and we did just enough because of our organization that we have, and we pulled through. The girls were brilliant in putting out 100% max effort, and they did it for us.
The championship batters aside, Carifta under 2200 champion Gary Card was among the standout performers. The Wilmer sprinter raced to an outstanding 20.53 seconds, beating former Calabar star Christopher Taylor's record of 20.72 to successfully defend his Class 1 half-lap title ahead of JC's 400 specialist Amari Robinson, who clocked 21 seconds flat. 17-year-old Card visibly taken aback by the effort.
Time that I'm running, I didn't expect to run that time now. So it's a surprise to see how far I've come, and it's still early season.
The Maroon and Gold Sprint Clinic didn't only come a la carte on the boys' side though. The women's girls faithful had plenty to scream about. In Class 1, Abigail Wolf, the 2023 Class 2 Champs 100 winner for Holy Childhood, caught her first ever corporate sprint double, adding the 200 title to Friday's 100 win, clocking 23.91 seconds.
I was happy to have finished and saw 23 on the clock, because that's a personal best for me. I was saddened when I realized that it was an illegal wind, but you know, that just means that I have the potential to reach there, so I'm really happy.
Adding to the Wilmarian Sprint Fiesta was 2024 Carifta Under-17 200 champion Latrice East, who produced a record-breaking sprint double, 11.78 and 23.65, marking her return to form after a slow start to the season.
My aim was just to get off of the curve in front so that I could execute my race how I wanted to, and I did just that.
And Antigua and Barbuda's Hannah Charles, representing the Queen's School, added a second record to her collection by winning the 3,000 meters open for girls in 10 minutes 55.81 seconds, as she sped by Guyanese Jennifer Bias of Camperdown High, who placed second in 10 minutes 57.46, which was also under the old record of 11 minutes flat. The athletes will now turn their attention to the black, green and gold of the National Stadium track for the March 25 to 29 ISSA Boys and Girls Championships.
So I take it that Kingston College in their 100th year will win the ISSA Boys and Girls Track and Field Championships. I think that's what we're getting from Ricardo there, who's a Calabar old boy. Speaking of Ricardo, he was honoured at the meet, actually, and for his years of service, which is weird to me because he looks older than he actually is. But he was honoured by Ricky Martin and Company Lands, which was a nice touch, I felt, by the organisers. So
yeah,
the amount of free work that he usually does with track and field over the years. But,
it's a passion. It's a passion for him.
Yeah.
And the track and field fraternity in the country benefits from that.
Yeah.
But Ricky had given us a sneak preview when we previewed the meet, showed us the trophies and so on.
Right.
With not only Ricardo but Hubert Lawrence as well, that they
right.
were, putting sections of the meet in honor of the work that these two men have given to not only corporate era champs but just track and field on a whole in the country.
I guess it's nice to be appreciated from time to time, I suppose.
Yes, I'm sure. 9 years straight now for Excelsior for the women's title, and we had, when we were previewing it, the immaculate assistant coach here, Quarry, and they were harboring thoughts of toppling Excelsior, but what we saw develop over Friday and Saturday was the heart of a champion, and that champions exhibit that kind of mettle when they are tested, because Immaculate had gone into the meet thinking that this was their year.
They did. The thing about Excelsior is that I've been impressed with both their boys and their girls program. The thing about it is that for the girls' side, it's such a mountain to climb at the national level, because you have the, almost said overseas-based schools, but the rural area schools to contend with at national champs. But yeah, they are inching closer, though. They're inching closer to a Heidel and an Edwin Allen and those schools. And I think they're going to close the gap significantly. But yeah, I mean, they will revel in this kind of success, Excelsior, because this is probably their trophy at the regional level, and it's good to see that they have such pride as far as defending their title is concerned each year.
Yeah, and the fact is that they have the coaching acumen at Excelsior to trigger these kinds of results. When you have people like Riley, David Riley there, presiding over the coaching of these youngsters, you're going to get success. And, he, of course, is among the most scientific coaches that we have in the country, and very thorough and meticulous in preparing his athletes. So no surprise that Excelsior have been showing that kind of dominance. On the boys' side, Kingston College are setting themselves up for a big celebration for their 100th anniversary, as you just touched on. And they would be considered favorites for the high school boys and girls championships. I heard Ricardo just teasing the black, green and gold track, because there's been a lot of discussion on the look of the new track at the National Stadium, which we think now would be ready for boys and girls champs March 25. I'm not sure how the general public feels about it. I've heard varying responses to what the track looks like, and I would reserve my comment until I actually see it live and in action.
My biggest concern was how it would look on television.
Yeah.
I know television broadcasts these days rely a lot on technology and how certain things look with AI and graphics and all that jazz. So That was my main concern, but I'm sure that they would have had discussions as to which colors would work or which colors wouldn't work. As far as I'm concerned, I like the look so far. I'm just excited with the fact that I think I saw gold as opposed to yellow. So I am big on us being accurate in terms of representing our national colors well, because I believe that was the aim this time around, to say, okay, we're going to go black, green, and gold. Not sure about the black and the heat for the field events, but let's see. I don't think it should be an issue. I don't think.
Well, let's wait and see what happens there. We are going to end this segment now. We go to a break. When we come back, I think we have the second zone updates, and then the last half an hour of the show. Back in a moment.